Hi, welcome to Roommates Gaming. This is the Sausage Tray. That's Josh. That's Justin. And I'm Eric. Today, we will be talking about the coronavirus.
This is a very serious episode of the Sausage Tray, it seems like.
You can tell because Eric opened.
Yep.
Got the deadpan to do it.
The straight man.
I am straight and I am a man, so...
He always says that he's the straight man when I'm being the funny man, and...
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
He'll try to start a bit and I won't follow along.
Because he's the straight man and I'm the funny man, so he's got to be the straight man to counteract my...
Welcome to a glimpse of our
It's funny the opposite of straight, and I'm not missing that.
Yes. There's...
Welcome to a glimpse in our welcome into a glimpse of our pseudo-married life.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we're back on our bullshit.
I've got corona.
Yeah, and Josh is dying of coronavirus and coughing in our direction.
I've got a traditional lager.
Good old high life.
Oh my god.
Joke's not going away. It's not going to go away.
I know. I'm just trying to... All right, so...
If we had some limes, I'd give you a bowl of limes.
Do you have any limes, Justin?
I don't have any limes currently.
All right, so as you can tell, we're still a train wreck, even though we've been away for like 3 weeks and haven't had a podcast.
Yes. We're back.
We're back, finally.
Well, see, the thing is, if you stop sending trains down the line, but you never actually clean up any of the train wrecks, when you start sending trains back down the line...
There's a log jam.
They just left their wrecks and like, we got to take a break for like 3 weeks. We'll come back to it then.
And somebody went, hey guys, we've got a lot of freight backing up.
We've just been piling up our shit. And the funny thing is, we have all this shit piling up, but still none of it's planned. It's just all a bunch of shit we have piled up. So here we are without a topic for the week and realize that we've been gone for a little while now and decided it's time to come back, talk to you guys, and get back in the swing of things, even though most government departments are advising us against get-togethers like this, and we are definitely not social distancing. Wonderful time for a beer. So before we get into our thoughts on...
There's not 10 people here. We're good.
There are not 10 people here. There are 4 upstairs and a dog, and the 3 of us downstairs. So we are on a 10.
Yeah, we're safe from Corona.
Yeah, we're safe from...
I don't know if that's how it works.
It does.
All right. Before we get into all of that, want to remind you guys that, of course, you're probably watching this on Facebook or YouTube, but you can find us at youtube.com/roommatesgaming and on twitch.tv/roommatesgaming.
Where else can they find us?
A bunch of places. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. Other places like the audio podcast that goes up on Anchor, Google Music, Apple Podcasts, everywhere, Spotify. The audio's everywhere. On the topic of Twitch and YouTube, though, hopefully you guys checked out the absolutely hilarious Munchkin gameplay that we had go up this past Monday. And next Monday, what do we got, Josh?
It'll be Neo 2.
Neo 2. All right. I wasn't ready for that, so I'm excited to see it.
Adatic Gaming with Cameron playing Neo 2. And it works a lot like the Dark Souls video that he did, and a lot not like the Dark Souls video he did.
Where he was just frustratingly good and frustratingly bad at the same time.
He does really good in the character creator. And that's about it.
Yeah, he should have won a gaming award for his character creator.
I can't wait to see
I hated it.
I can't wait to see this now. All right, we got that. Keep posted to all of our social media feeds because we will be sharing more advice about the upcoming spring circuit that we're going to do with Mario Kart, also against government regulations and recommendations. But we realize it's time to get together, have a beer, and celebrate not only each other, but the absolute victory that our man over here got with gold medals in the Winter Olympics that Josh is still super salty about. So, with all of that, let's get down with the sickness and talk about the coronavirus.
God. Damn.
Even I didn't expect that one.
Oh my God. Also, we have a Discord. And in that Discord, you can chat with us. We're in there every day, almost every day. It just depends on how active we are in our own personal lives. But there are other people in there that like to chat around. But all the links are in the description. And speaking of the Discord, we had started last time we ever did the Sausage Tray. We started a movie club.
Yeah.
And it was Eric's suggestion for the first movie, and he chose 12 Monkeys, and he decided the one movie that was like nowhere to be found on any streaming services.
Yeah, it used to be.
It used to be. Fair enough. It used to be, but you know.
That was an impromptu thing that we just talked about before the podcast. And I went, oh, well, I've got a movie I can think of right now that everyone should watch.
But so, I mean, renting had to happen. But so, Eric, that's your movie. So let's go ahead and discuss 12 Monkeys for a little bit. Just this movie club. That
All right, well, that's the intro from
the
now
RG
on.
movie club.
So pre-apocalypse, before today's current world is happening.
Oh shit! Right.
12 Monkeys.
Well, that was a good suggestion before you even knew about the.
Yeah, before things got this bad.
I like to be on topic, so I mean, it's just a skill I have.
We actually recently just finished the TV show.
Mhm.
And it's really good. They're both, the movie and the TV show they're both really good. The TV show is a bit more corny sometimes, but I mean, what can you do for a sci-fi show?
Yeah, it's a sci-fi TV show about time travel and a apocalypse virus. So I mean, you kind of can't help but be cheesy.
Yeah.
But yeah, all about time travel, and Bruce Willis is basically his exact same character from Die Hard, but he's a time traveler now.
Yep. Against his will.
Against his will. But now that I've actually said that out loud, it is basically just time traveling Die Hard. It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. And because I'd never seen it, and you recommended it, and I sat down. It was like 11:30 at night, and I sat down with a notepad on my couch. I'm like, I'm gonna start this movie. I pulled it up. I'm like, this is 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and I did not expect that. And I started watching it, taking notes. My wife Courtney was like, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm not doing this. And then I'm like, Bruce Willis is naked. She's like, all right, I'm back.
It's a younger Bruce Willis.
It is, and he's naked 3 times in that movie. The first time
I did not realize. I did not remember that.
Yeah. Because you recommended I'm watching it, and I was keeping notes. I don't know where my notepad is. I should have brought it and been prepared for this.
That would have been good.
Yeah, it would have been good. But I'm taking notes and writing it out. I'm like, Bruce Willis is naked. Question about that, because they're just spraying him down with a water hose.
He's naked again.
And naked again. Same circumstance. He's naked again, and I'm like, I'm starting to see why Eric wanted me to watch this movie.
Well, he's got to be decontaminated after being exposed to an area that would be virus heavy.
But the third time you see his dong, like, just flaps right there on the screen.
It's little Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Little Bruce Willie.
Little Bruce.
Yeah, little Bruce hanging down.
Little Bruce's Willie. That was good. Oh, okay. So, was there a reason you recommended 12 Monkeys?
It just popped into my head. I think it was because Josh and I had just talked about, or not really talked about, but like every time we sit down to like, if we're eating at the same time, we'll sit down and like watch a show or whatever, and we have a uncomfortably large backlog of things we need to watch. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the ones that like we were on the last season. So it was like, oh yeah, there we could watch 12 Monkeys. So I guess it was just like in my head, but I also think it was right when that suggestion was made. The movie I always tend to go to when someone's like, what's a really good, like, not blockbuster movie, but what's a really good like cult classic? My brain always goes to Fifth Element. Another Bruce Willis movie.
That's a good movie.
Another Bruce Willis movie.
But I went, but everyone likes The Fifth Element. That's the least original choice I could make. However, I can think of another Bruce Willis movie that's just as good.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah, and I know that one of his favorite, speaking for Eric, one of his favorite like sci-fi genres is time travel.
Yeah.
The boy loves him some fucking time travel.
I like it because to properly enjoy a time travel story, you kind of just have to turn off your brain and enjoy the ride, because the more you think about how time travel affects the plot, the less sense it makes. So you kind of just have to force yourself to just go, I accept everything you're about to show me.
I appreciate it.
So being the only one who hasn't seen that movie out of the three of us, Justin, how did you actually like enjoy everything?
So the movie was It wasn't bad. I kind of called the end from an early point on, just because of this. I guarantee in '95 that would have blown my mind, but just like in 2020, I'm like,
It's kind
I've seen this kind of trope
kind of
used
cliche
before. Yeah. So like, and that's how I watched it, trying to appreciate the fact that this wasn't a cliche when it happened, right? But now, like, okay, so he watches himself do the whole deal, the whole 9 yards. But I did think the movie was good. I thought the movie was remarkably. I don't know. I think it was a remarkably fitting situation for the way the world is today. Not only like the fact that we're going through a plague,
but a pandemic, not a plague.
Yeah, we're tapping on it. But also Brad Pitt's character in that movie, just how one batshit dude with a crazy idea gets a bunch of hipsters to follow him and they end up doing insane shit, even though what he was going to do is kind of dumb and pointless. Like, I feel like that's something that happens so much in the real world today. And I think that was a really good kind of handoff, looking at like the way the world is.
I'm not sure if one of the intended lessons of the movie was supposed to be one reckless idiot can ruin the world.
Yeah.
But it does sound kind of familiar.
I feel like that is kind of the message of the movie. It really it takes an event really kind of to set anything into motion.
Right.
Butterfly effect kind of thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter if it's a smart individual or a crazy individual. Yep. It could just a thing can lead to disastrous effects.
And also the misinformation, like two things that happen at the same time where you look like you should blame one thing, but it's really something else that you weren't aware of.
Yeah.
Also that, like that whole sleight of hand thing made sense.
Yeah.
And
All of that. Now that we're talking about it, and since we watched the last season of the TV show, they use a lot of that same kind of storytelling where like they also do something that I really like Doctor Who for, where they'll give you a plot device or give you just some innocuous event, and then later that pays off for a plot twist or another plot device or something like that. And the movie does that a lot, and the TV show does it a lot in the last season. Like almost every other episode, they have something pay off that either seemed like it wasn't really that important, or it was clarifying something that you thought you had figured out or had already figured out, because the show's not exactly that deep.
And see, I like that. I like where sometimes it can be overdone and really heavy-handed, but I do like it when shows they're giving you information, and they're doing enough in the background that should catch your attention, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. All right.
But now that we've discussed 12 Monkeys, Justin, it is your turn to pick the movie.
So you've seen me pick up my phone like 4 times.
Yeah. Checking your information.
I'm checking my information, but I also changed my mind on the movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What was your first choice?
My original choice was Big Fish.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Because Big Fish is one of my all-time favorite movies.
I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. That would have been a decent choice.
It's one of those movies where I was like, I'm going to hate this movie.
But
I did not end up hating that movie.
I'm going to flip the game.
Because I think I had never seen it until you actually showed it to me.
Yeah, I love that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be a new experience for people when we're going through this. And Big Fish has a little bit of critical acclaim, right? So I decided I'm going to change my submission, but I'm also going to change the structure of the game by making a recommendation.
All right.
The movie that you recommend has to have something in common with the movie that we just watched.
That's pretty cool. Like a character or like an actor or something like that.
Actor, theme, something, right? And this week I'm going with actor.
All right, switching it up here.
I'm switching it up here a little bit on you. And
movie club.
I'm going to go with a Brad Pitt film.
All right.
My first thought was Snatch, but everybody's seen Snatch, and Snatch is fucking great. If you haven't seen Snatch, go watch that. That's not homework. That's just an order that you need to go watch Snatch. It's available on Crackle, or you can just spend a couple bucks and watch it on Amazon Prime or YouTube because it's worth it. The movie's great. I was also going to say The Mexican with Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts, which is one of my favorite movies. But I'm going to throw all of that away and say Burn After Reading. Have you seen
How
it?
did
I
I
have
know?
actually not seen it. I've wanted to.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but somehow when you said I'm going with a Brad Pitt movie, I'm like, it's probably going to be Burn After Reading.
Go watch Burn After Reading.
That was pretty cool.
Just because that's like the curveball Brad Pitt movie.
Yeah. So Burn After Reading, without giving away the plot, Brad Pitt is one of the biggest things that ties it to 12 Monkeys, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But also the whole giving you something in the foreground to get you thinking while things are going on in the background that's just going to drop it on its head. That's Burn After Reading. And the payoff is so wonderful at the end of that movie. I like it so much because, and we'll talk about it after everybody goes to see it. You got 2 weeks. Go watch Burn After Reading. It is available on Hulu. That's what I was just looking at when I was obnoxiously checking my phone a minute ago. It is available on Hulu for anybody that is subscribed. It's also got George Clooney and John Malkovich and several other people. It's a really, really funny movie. So check that out.
Yeah, I always wanted to like watch it because it seems like because I'm pretty sure it's not, but it seems like it's like a Coen Brothers like type dark comedy, and I fucking love Coen Brothers movies, but I'm pretty sure the Coen Brothers didn't make that movie.
They did not.
But like when I've always wanted to watch it but never have. I think I actually have it like downloaded legally somewhere.
It is a Coen Brothers movie.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it is a Coen Brothers movie from September 2008.
It was so no wonder. I don't know why I thought it wasn't because it feels like through trailers and like any information that I've like ever seen about it, I'm like, man, this feels like a Coen Brothers. I don't know how I never actually put it together that it was a Coen Brothers film. I think that might be one of the only one of their movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna watch that. So
their movies have that common theme of playing off human stupidity. And my God, is this like, in my opinion, one of the holy grails for how they play off human stupidity.
When I would see like trailers for it, and I think I've like read like the synopsis or whatever for it, just because I would see the trailers and go, this seems so weird, and why is Brad Pitt in it? Because this does not seem like a Brad Pitt character.
He's just so dumb.
I was gonna say Brad Pitt doesn't really have a character. He's played so many wild different.
My man's got range.
Yeah, I know he doesn't get typecast, but he still does kind of get typecast at the same time. He's still technically, even if his characters are different, he's still Brad motherfucking Pitt. So seeing him play a moron, just a straight up goofy moron, I'm like, I did not know Brad Pitt could do that.
So one thing I will ask of you, I'm not going to give any plot details or anything like that. Just go watch the movie, but pay attention to each character and their plot and their motivation. Like the things they say, the things they do, the things they want. Just pay attention to it and kind of catalog them like that. Mm-hmm. Because when you see how all that structures out and how these things do and do not parallel each other, it's so good. Like, it's so good. But that's it. So Burn After Reading, Brad Pitt, 2008. It's on Hulu. Go watch that.
Nice. So now, movie club is done. Now the movie club's done. I guess we're going to talk about the coronavirus.
Yes.
COVID-19.
COVID-19. So who wants to start with this?
I think most of what we're going to be discussing isn't really necessarily like information to help keep you safe, because honestly,
we're not the people for that.
We're not the people for that. And we don't want to make you think that we're the people for that. It's really more about the things that are happening in our world because of this. And I feel like my thing has always been, anytime someone like says something to me, is always like, I feel like you should be somewhat concerned, but just like you would be with the flu, you know, you need to make sure if we had a vaccine, you know, make sure you get but it's not quite done. People are testing and creating, like Canada was like already in like a test trial for something like that. But that's
Can't mess with their hockey.
Yeah, they canceled hockey and Canadians were like,
That's not happening.
You what, mate? Excuse me? I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. What did you say about?
What'd you say, Boot?
If I don't watch the Toronto Maple Leafs play this Sunday,
No. Sunday.
But yeah, I one of our mutual friends on Facebook made a post that was making fun of like, and I'm sure it was totally satirical and not meant to be serious at all. But it was a post making fun of like CDC officials and like doctors and nurses and whatnot, who like essentially talking about how all the officials are like, you should take this. You shouldn't overreact to this. Just remain calm and don't panic and blah, blah, blah. And then also those people, look at us working and helping people during this pandemic. We should all get a pat on the back for working in these dangerous times. And like, it's like, you can't have both of them. I'm like, no, that's the exact message you should be sending. Don't panic. Take care of yourself. It's dangerous, but not like apocalyptic.
Yeah. So the scale that we've all been privy to is that people that are in fairly good health or even average health are more than less okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine.
If they get sick, I mean, you'll have flu-like symptoms, but it'll pass.
Yeah.
But the people who are
the very young, the very old, and the immunocompromised.
Exactly.
or people that do have a respiratory problem.
Yes.
So people that are at risk, I mean, that's the whole idea of the self-quarantining, social distancing, and everything else is like, yeah, you're fine. That's good. But you could be a carrier and not know it and give it to somebody who is not fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or
and the fact that symptoms take a while.
Yeah.
Like I've heard anywhere from 5 days to like 2 weeks for symptoms to actually show up. But you're radioactive that whole time.
Yeah. So like, and that's maybe you are fine right now, but you go out in public and you touch something at you bump into somebody at a grocery store, or you know, any number of things that could happen because it is contact spread, not airborne, as far as I'm to understand.
Yeah, as far as I'm going to understand.
Yeah. So like any amount of contact could happen, and then even if you weren't when you went out to go do stuff, you're a carrier now and infecting people that are immunodeficient. That's where the problem lies. Mm. So it's an effort to preserve other people, not just yourself.
Yeah. I would like to say that after weeks of hearing that I shouldn't touch my face has never been more itchy. I want to constantly touch my face now.
Yeah, after being told that too, I was like, I didn't realize how much I touched my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Same thing.
I'm
like, I touched my face like a fuck ton and just never noticed how much I actually touched my face. Either like just like, you know, kind of like grooming my beard or something like that. You're like touching my face and making sure like everything's like wiped down or whatever. And like, I never realized how much like I fucking twitch my nose so much. Like I never noticed how much I actually do that.
Yeah, I've become acutely aware about how itchy and sensitive my face is.
Also, don't worry, everyone who is watching or listening. I was touching my things as I was saying that, but we will sanitize everything after the recording is done.
Yep.
And everybody will be sprayed with the Lysol.
We'll be in a new studio next time.
This one will be burnt down.
Can't say that on camera, man. I own this house. It's insurance.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did say we're gonna move to a different location.
Oh yeah, this is our new location. We got a teal wall now. And also, as you probably deduced, this is a teal wall, and those white walls are corners that wrap around. We don't just have one giant, long, stretching wall anymore.
It's just a blue stripe. It's just the racing stripe in the room.
I didn't paint a weird, awkward, but I'm not a fucking artist. Just put a weird teal square on the wall.
That's definitely a racing stripe in the room.
Right. It makes it go faster. We don't have the camera pointed up. There are flames up there, too.
I don't know. I haven't researched, and also I don't care, man. If I die, I die. But I
If he
have,
dies, he dies.
but I have chronic bronchitis. I get it like every year.
You're the one
and that
person
is
in the room
technically-
that definitely does not need to get corona.
I was about to say, technically, wouldn't that be?
You'll be fine.
I was about to say, but I know I'm not really concerned. But I was wondering as I was like saying, and also people with respiratory problems. I'm like, wait, does that mean?
Hang on a second.
Does that mean I have a respiratory?
Yeah,
problem?
you definitely should not.
Yeah.
I like
Because you think your bronchitis is bad after the flu.
I was treated for chronic bronchitis for 7 years before they found out, oh, wait, it's a tumor. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay.
But see, you don't have that anymore. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you'll be fine.
yeah, not the tumors. The tumors are gone. The thyroid's gone. Oh, that's good. Still got a lot of immunodeficient problems as a result of that.
Nah, you'll be fine.
But yeah, so there is a concern like picking it up and spreading it, and of course social distancing is the good move there. To those of you that weren't wiping your ass before the coronavirus came out, why? Like, how are you sanitizing your rear? And why is toilet paper such a big thing to you now? None of y'all cared. None of you cared.
I would recommend actual like sanitizing wipes, not toilet paper. Like, toilet paper is not really going to do anything for you. I would definitely recommend getting some like sanitizing wipes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kaboom, baby. Use Kaboom.
I really don't fucking understand the freaking panic for paper towels. Like, okay, how much paper towels or how much toilet paper do you go through?
Yeah.
Like, we buy normally like a
Not even that big. It's like
I
a
think
12 pack.
12 pack.
Yeah.
That'll last us like 2 months.
There are 3 people in that apartment now. Technically, the third person buys his own toilet paper because he has his own bathroom. In
But
his room.
that's the hall. That's the
Yeah.
public bathroom.
public
that when
bathroom.
anybody comes over, whenever we record, whenever we have
Cameron
friends
blows
over,
literally every time Cameron comes over, he blows it up.
I shit in that bathroom every time I come over to record.
so like, and we still only like buy toilet paper once a month to like 2 months.
Yep.
Mhm.
What? How are y'all planning on shitting so much?
No.
Like, Corona doesn't give you the shits, right?
No, it's not a symptom at all.
It's upper respiratory problems, not shitting your pants until you die. This isn't Ebola.
But they're going to be trapped in their houses for who knows how long.
I shit a lot. I'm no. This is not okay. I poop a lot naturally. Now all these people are creating a problem for me that doesn't need to exist.
Exactly.
But, like the fact of the matter is, either you weren't wiping before, or you're just being a dick and panicking about this whole thing.
Yeah,
There's
the answer is
in
yes.
between.
Yeah.
Or you're thinking, hey, humanity's dying. We're taking the planet with us. Let's take all the fucking paper.
I just want to say that when the apocalypse happened, I was looking forward to, if I was one of the survivors, I was really looking forward to the new currency being bottle caps.
Yeah, here I
Not
thought
toilet
bottle
paper.
caps are going to be our new
toilet paper.
Yeah,
I'm
here we
not
go. I
prepared.
got 2 caps right here. I got enough.
Toilet paper burns.
I got enough bottle caps here to buy a little bit of something. This is what I thought
But
currency
how much
was going
toilet
to be.
paper do you have?
I don't have
How many
any
squares?
Can you spare a square? That's for all the people that watch Seinfeld.
For all the people that watch
Nobody
Shameless,
watches it.
you only need 3 sheets. One to wipe, one to shine, one to polish. That's it.
I really just don't get it. It blows my freaking mind. Like, so we went to the store, I think it was Wednesday, to like do our basic grocery shopping, and nothing really, not a big problem. Everything was stocked fine. And I saw like a couple of people in masks, and I was like, I mean, I get it. You're either trying to protect yourself or trying to protect others. But the people that I did see, they were older. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But this weekend, I went to 3 different grocery stores, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. This Saturday we recorded. There'll be some of those videos we recorded will be coming up soon. But afterwards we recorded on 3/14. That's Pi Day, and we wanted to hang out afterwards. So we were trying to figure out what we do. So Maddie was like, I can make pies. And we're like, oh, that's cool. And then she also suggested, well, pizzas are also pie. Why don't we make pizzas and I make pie? And we were like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So we went over to their house, and then we all went to the store together, and we went to Walmart first to get some pizzas and pie supplies. That place, this was like I think like 8-ish, 9-ish maybe o'clock at night on a Saturday. That place looked like the shelves looked like a barren town, but there were a decent amount of people there at that time of night. Like it looked like in the parking lot, it looked like a daytime kind of like situation. Like it wasn't like too crowded, but like surprising for like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Normally you expect maybe like a third of the parking lot to be filled, not like 2/3 of the parking lot to be full. But there was like no bathroom stuff. There was like no paper towels. All of the dish stuff was gone too. Like, I mean, I get like, dish soap to wash your hands and stuff, but like even like the Cascade and stuff like that, like the pouches that you put in your dishwasher were really low too. Like,
You were like tearing them, hoping to put them in a bottle.
well, I don't. Yeah, what were they doing? Were they are they washing dishes all for a whole month straight? We gotta wash every single fucking dish in the house, or we're getting corona. Like that also blew my mind. All of the it didn't help that week that Saturday our local school system canceled school for the next 2 weeks. So I guess everybody earlier that day just fucking panicked because they're like, oh my God, my kids are going to be home for 2 weeks. What the fuck am I going to feed them? What the hell am I going to feed these kids? Yeah. They're normally at school all day. So they have breakfast at school, they have breakfast or they have dinner or lunch at school. We normally just got to feed them lunch and have snacks. But now we got to feed them breakfast, lunch and dinner for who knows how long, like at least 2 weeks straight.
So the local school system, being a parent of children in the local school system, we got a message saying, schools are closed starting Monday. Keep posted. We're going to tell you how things are going to work because the kids are still doing school. Like they do remote learning and they'll log in from home and do things like that. And just complete work that's assigned to them. But the local school system sent out a message saying that all of the cafeterias will be open for parents to go pick up or to go take their kids to eat meals for breakfast and lunch,
which is really cool.
And the buses will be delivering food along their normal bus routes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen a community come together and do.
Yeah.
And
which is kind of surprising for our fucking school district.
Yeah, it is. Knowing our school district.
Knowing our state we live in.
Yes.
It was really surprising because I was, Maddie and Cameron got that message while we were all hanging out and we all listened to it together. But I was like, that's actually really fucking cool. Go around the bus route and like deliver stuff. That's really cool. And you can come to the school for lunches and breakfast if that's normally like maybe the only meal your kid may get that day. So that's really fucking cool. Even, the midst of a panic about coronavirus, they're still going to be like, we understand that, this may be the only food that your kid may get during.
I'm curious how well regulated the bus delivery will be, because I imagine there's going to be some people that try to take advantage of it in some way.
I would
people are assholes.
I would guarantee it. So the idea is that there should be a meal. My understanding of the idea, let me back that up, is that there should be a meal prepared for every child that normally rides that bus. Now, not all the kids are going to take that, right? But every child under the age of 18 gets a meal, and that's my understanding on it. And also, I don't know what's being served or how the distribution of it actually works at the stops or anything like that. But I'm fortunate enough that we don't have to take advantage of that, right? That we have food in the house for the kids to eat and everything like that. We're perfectly fine. But I mean, that is a big deal. And Courtney and I were out of town. We were in the mountains this weekend, and we got that message and said the same thing then. I mean, this doesn't directly affect us, but for all the people that does affect, for all the families and all the kids that don't get that normal meal throughout the day, that's a huge thing. And I'm a little concerned with the fact that they canceled volunteering for the school system like last week to say, we can't have volunteers come out and help with anything because we need to keep the number of people here concise. And then earlier today, they made a call saying, if you'd like to volunteer for food distribution or anything like that, please reach out to the school system. I'm like, kind of backing up on certain things, but I understand why they would need to do it.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, canceling school threw a huge curveball into things, and you were still talking about the store and how things were.
Yeah, like so like most all of the like frozen like food, pizzas and all that stuff, like even like frozen vegetables and stuff, all of that shit was like cleared out, and like even like I feel like a lot of it is just purely panic.
Oh yeah.
And which is not good. Don't panic. Panicking is the worst thing you can do, because if you're like, oh
Panicking
no,
is how you guarantee to cause problems.
yeah, because there are going to be people that can't get to the store in time or aren't worried about panic, and then you create a problem for them when they're like, this is when I normally would go buy some groceries because this is when I'm eating, but because so many people have panicked, when they go to the store or finally get a chance to go to the store, or they finally get paid to be able to go to the store, they go to the store to emptiness and go, well, I'm not going to have food for a couple of weeks. What the fuck, everybody else?
Yeah.
And that's just asinine. Like
the store
don't panic.
The store I work in for like Clorox wipes and hand sanitizer and any other basic hygiene thing that people are going to panic by, we actually this week, I assume this week, imposed a limit of 1 per person per purchase.
Mm-hmm.
You get 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of which, when we went to Walmart too, they also put up a post. It was a nationwide post, but we saw it when we got there. It was starting March 15th. All Walmarts are going to be closing at 11 to make up for the demand of supplies and stuff, because it's probably taking them a bunch to restock everything and make sure everything is on the shelves when everyone's taking it off.
Like for a store like Walmart that stays open 24/7, imagine how many trucks and deliveries they would have to get to actually keep up with people panic buying like that. It'd be impossible.
So only staying open for 11 or staying open until 11 is giving them that time. I'm assuming, because I didn't go into the details about their employees, but I'm assuming their employees will probably still be working after
most likely
they close to help refill stuff.
Yeah. They got to rebuild that fucking war zone.
Yeah, after.
Yeah.
But the first initial was shock at how much shit was gone off state. Produce, fresh, there was barely anything on like the produce aisles and stuff. Apples, like everything. Like there was no kale, artichokes, like eggplants were gone. We even made Cameron made the joke like, don't they know that eggplants, actually no, my mistake. There were a bunch of eggplants left, but everything else was like gone. And Cameron's like, don't you know eggplants are the cure? And I'm like, yeah, it's a suppository. You stuff it up your ass and you'll be cured of corona.
Eggplant emoji, water drop emoji.
Yeah, you're safe. But it was just so weird. Like, why there's a fuck ton of eggplants still left, but like there was like an artichoke, a few peppers, maybe a couple of apples. Like, what the hell? Why are you panic buying vegetables and fruits
that are gonna disappear?
Yeah,
they're
like
gonna go bad.
They're gonna go bad. What are you trying to prepare? Like, oh no, like even the canned goods.
The funniest one to me is people buying like 15 gallons of milk.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the snow.
No.
Like there's the totally
even
logical.
That blows my mind. We're like, let's buy milk and bread during a snowstorm.
There's the totally logical idea that you can freeze the milk and it will last.
But if you lose power,
and who's got a freezer big enough for 15 gallons of frozen milk?
Nobody. And, like, because I went grocery shopping tonight when I went to the store, like you were saying.
Also, stop drinking that much milk.
Milk's not even that
cows,
great.
Not for us.
Tastes delicious.
It does, but it's not for us.
It's irrelevant.
It's not good for you.
It's irrelevant. I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm okay. I poop a lot. Anyway, because of milk. When we went, I went to Walmart earlier today, much like you did, and it was cleared out. I wasn't expecting that because, like I said, I've been to the mountains in a nice little oasis in my own little world for a couple days with my wife. We had a great time. We got back, and I'm like, all right, so thankfully we don't need toilet paper. we miraculously somehow timed it where before the world fell apart, I bought some, so we were good. But I went to Walmart and I walked in, and I knew that panic buying had become an issue on certain things. But I walked in, and as soon as I turned my head to the left, there's no juice in the grocery section. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to all the apple juice? I wasn't here to get apple juice, but just like the image caught me off guard. So I walked over there, and the big like center of the aisle like containers that had like the big center coolers and everything, they're empty. There's like price signs up and like 1 pack of hamburger or like a bunch of fucking butter, because apparently nobody needs butter in the apocalypse. But everything else is gone, and like the cheese shelves are cleared off. The package or the ham and turkey and all those packaged meats are cleared out. Yogurt is gone. Like, and I'm walking through, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Around the corner, no milk, no bread, no pasta, like no boxed pasta. All that shit's gone. All the sauce for the pasta was there, but the boxes were gone.
We're eating nothing but milk.
Yeah.
And raw pasta. Or I mean, you can cook it too.
They're gonna.
I like the image of a bunch of idiots drinking milk and eating raw pasta.
See, they're gonna boil the pasta, get it nice and al dente. They're gonna stick it in the bowl, pour some milk over it, and there you go.
Eat it like cereal.
Yep. Pasta milk.
Yep, pasta milk.
That's what they did with the cheese. They mixed it with the milk and made a cream sauce.
They're just making cheese sauce.
Yeah. So like there was no meat. Like the frozen section, like you said, cleared out. And I'm walking through like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life as far as the response to things.
Mm-hmm.
So I got what few regular shopping items I could and left and went and picked up dinner for our family, like elsewhere. But it's insane to see just how cleared out places are getting because of all of this.
Yeah.
And it's just panic. They're not necessities that are going missing. Like, that's the crazy thing. And a lot of it's food that's good. Milk is going to go bad quick. Bread is going to go bad quick. Mm-hmm. Vegetables are going to go bad quick. Meat you can freeze, right? You can freeze bread technically, but we're not going to go through that.
Why would you?
My grandmother did that, man. My grandmother, every time I went to her house, she would have at least 2 loaves of bread in the freezer. She's like, that way I don't have to go out and buy it. I'm like,
yeah, I think that's like that generation type of thing. Who freezes bread kind of thing.
It's weird. I freeze bagels because I like them that way. But that's
cold bagels not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so while we're in the store, I've got a cough, but that's because I had the flu 2 weeks ago, and like I said, I've got chronic bronchitis, so. If my lungs get inflamed, they like to stay that way. I'm not sick. I can't give anyone the flu.
Let me give you bronchitis real quick.
I have no longer but like I still have like a dry cough, and sometimes I'll have a little bit of mucus that's still in there. But for the most part, it's just a dry, my lungs are irritated cough. So anytime I would cough while we were walking around the store, I would just be like, it's the corona. The corona's got me. And like I said, it was me, JT, Cameron, and Maddie that were walking through the store and stuff. Maddie's hella embarrassed, so she's like walking in front of us. Cameron and JT are fucking busting out laughing because I'm not really paying attention. I'm just coughing and saying it, but they're watching the people that are reacting to me coughing and going, oh God, I got corona. And people are like just like eyeing each other or like eyeing me and like freaking out and stuff. And like T was telling me, like, he was like one person just like,
I'm honestly surprised.
Like almost panic mode after I did it. And he was like, it was fucking hilarious watching you walk around that store and cough and say, I've got corona, or go, oh God, it's the corona, and watch people just kind of freak out and try to clear out that aisle because of it.
I'm honestly surprised nobody like went to like the store security or whatever. And I'm like, so this guy keeps coughing and saying he's got corona. We would like him to leave. And nobody approach you and be like, sir, could you step aside and can we talk to you for a second?
No, I got corona. You don't want to get
okay, please leave.
No, but and then one time we finally found some pizza stuff, and there was a girl trying to get stuff, but at this point there was like a couple of people besides us on the aisles. Like the aisle kind of got a little crowded, and there was this woman like maybe 30s, that made
she hot?
do what?
Was she hot?
I wasn't really paying attention that much, but
Waste.
waste. I wasn't paying attention too much.
He was too busy pretending to have coronavirus.
I was too busy freaking other people out. But it was hilarious. They were all crowded around the like the freezer section of the doors, and you have to open them and get whatever you want. So there were people standing in the front of it. What she did though was she like coughed behind them, and a couple of the people that weren't us was like, oh god, and like moved out of the way. She just opened the thing, got her thing, and just walked off. That is the greatest use of that ability, besides me fucking around and like trying to scare people.
Cry wolf.
But yeah, like cry wolf, so you can get what you're getting, because people are in your damn way, and just go on about your business. That was fucking hilarious. Just oh no. That's
the
all I needed
coronavirus.
to grab. And just
COVID-19.
oh no, they're gonna get me.
Just pretend to talk on your phone. This fever is so bad.
Yeah, like oh man,
My lungs are burning so
like I
much.
can feel my chest, like my lungs are hurting. Oh man, I feel it.
We
This flu is so bad.
Yeah, and then Sunday I went to Sam's to get some bigger stuff, but boy howdy, Sam's was packed to the brim with people.
Well, I mean, if everyone's panic buying, you want to go to the one place where you can buy a billion of that thing.
But like they had no toilet paper. They were even like running out of like they didn't have any of the like, because you can also buy stuff for like your restaurants and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like the little paper towel dispenser stuff. They were completely out of those rolls. They were even like some of the
I guarantee you there are people in their homes that have paper towel dispensers installed in their
I was
bathrooms
going to
now.
say those paper towel dispensers. Most of those were missing too. Like I was like, what the fuck are you buying those for? Were you putting them up in your homes now?
Somebody's got a bathroom and they took down the towel rack and put up a paper towel dispenser.
Just in case Corona comes around, I'll be safe. But yeah, like all of the meat was like gone. Like I'd never seen that many butchers stocked at Sam's on a Sunday before. But they were in the back because they have an open window for the butcher's area. There was like a good 5 people back there, like cutting meat to try to put enough back on, because it was no joke. All of the like beef and pork and stuff, most of it was gone. Most of the fish was all gone. All of the chicken was gone. It was fucking insane.
Speaking of the like the staffing rush, I guess for retail stores and whatnot, not the store I work at, but the one on the other side of town. I think last week they had 10 trucks, like for that week, and starting I think this week, they're people that like actually unload the trucks and whatnot and stock the store come in at 4 a.m. now.
Wow.
Just to try to keep up.
Wow.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
we've got 4 trucks. The store I work at is only at 4 trucks a week, starting this week. And they actually had to make sure Tuesday they pulled us all aside and made sure that we could come in for the extra day for the extra truck. But so far we haven't done anything that extreme. But yeah, the one across town, 10 trucks a week, at least for last week. I don't know what they're at now.
That's crazy.
But 10 trucks a week coming in at 4 a.m.
That's insane.
The other weird thing about a crazy, weird, dumb, panic people, funny thing. It was dumb because people were doing it. It was funny because I watched. Okay, so they put up signs in certain areas that said only take or limit like 2 per customer, and like 2 pallets of water at Sam's is a fuck ton of water. Like they come in huge things,
Like 32 packs.
yeah. And there was like limit 2 to customers. There were people like stacking up their carts, and it's Sam's.
Yeah.
They really don't have like self-checkout. There are people that like check you out for you, and they take care of everything. They had pallets at where the checkout registers were full of water that they had to take from people because they were like I watched it happen. They're like, you can only buy 2. And the lady was like, but I've got like 4. And like, we said you can only buy 2.
There was a sign.
You can only buy 2. So the other person at the checkout took the cases and put them back onto like this big rolling cart that they were taking back to like where the water was going. I'm like, do you not think like It says too, you're in Sam's. They're gonna check you out. Are you expecting to get away with
They
that?
gotta sign your receipt.
Yeah. You expect? Yeah, you even have to sign your receipt to leave. Are you not expecting them to go? You have like 6 cases of water. We said 2.
We know what our policy is.
I'm gonna let that slide this time.
No.
Were you expecting this? Like,
No,
like,
you literally have.
how are you trying to get away with this?
You literally have to pay Sam's Club for the privilege of shopping there.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to make sure you're following their policy.
I can't be expected to read the sign. You read the price, didn't you,
Yeah.
Karen? Put your shit
So,
back.
put this shit back. But that was the greatest part. She's like, "What?" I didn't. She just takes the water out of her cart and puts it back away. And I was like, "Yes," because like when we were over by the water section, there were people just like filling up. I was like, "It says 2. How are you expecting to get it out of the store with 6 water cases in your?"
Important question. Did they have toilet paper?
No,
They
they
didn't
were
have
like they didn't have any toilet paper, no pepper.
Did you look at like the racks up top? Like the
Yeah, even some of the like
the
top
pallets?
racks were like empty.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen other places like Costco and things like other like bulk places that it's just empty steel. That's
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, and that's the weird part about Sam's. Like, they've got like huge warehouse like towers that
Yeah.
like even if like some of the bottom shelves are kind of low, everything above them is full of like pallets and stuff. Even at Sam's, it was like nothing on the floor, nothing on the first, second, third. Like the very top had just a few.
God damn.
Like
Those, like-
enough that like they've probably grabbed a few to bring down, but like they're running out of those.
Yeah,
at the
and it's
top.
like a 12, 15 foot scaffolding
yeah,
empty.
I was looking at stocks earlier today, and of course the market always falls on Monday, but it's fallen about 6,000 points roughly over the past couple weeks. Like as a constant, it does come back up and trickle, but from the highest point that it was like 28,000 or something, it's down around 21. And when I was looking, all of the recommendations said through the course of this week, early in the week, buy Clorox, buy Costco, and buy Domino's. And that's because Domino's is not going to stop shipping pizzas. They're not closing, right? I think they're going to stop in-store pickup.
But
I think
they'll do delivery.
they'll still do delivery. And that kind of helps them control where people are going.
Wasn't it Domino's who was also going to start the drop off? Like you don't even have to interact with them. They'll just drop off the pizza at your house and just go on.
I'm not sure, but
I haven't heard about that.
that's like Eric's dream come true.
Yeah, I think I heard like something about that. Like a pizza place. I think it may have been Domino's that were like going to do drop off like for like care or for delivery. They were going, I guess it had to all be card or something like that, most likely. So they could you could pay online, pay your tip online, and then they just deliver the pizza and leave. And you could just open the door, not even have to say hello to the.
That should be how it works just in general, to be
And
perfectly honest.
I guarantee like I guarantee that's why the recommendation was, buy Domino's stock. Because if they're going to keep working and sending these things out and people don't have to leave their home, but they know I'm getting a meal and it's a rather inexpensive meal. It's just $5.99 for a medium pizza. if you
Not
get two.
sponsored.
Not sponsored. Like, it's
Unless Domino's.
Yeah.
$5.99, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm just gonna check the time on my phone real quick.
I will say Domino's is one of my favorite fast food chain pizzas.
yeah. Man, that pan crust is fantastic, isn't it?
I know, yeah. Like I love their thin crust.
Yeah, the thin crust of buffalo chicken for $8.99 with the 2 for $5.99 deal is fantastic. Slight upcharge for that $8.99 buffalo chicken, but it's worth it. I like it. Anyway, so now that we're off the Domino's topic,
Unless Domino's.
unless Domino's,
JK.
we got over
Unless.
100 followers. Check us out.
Getting that Domino's money never.
You
never know.
I'll just yell at them. Hey guys.
They could get desperate.
I found Eric's new T-shirt. You never know that they could get desperate. Just
Come
out
on
of
down.
context.
Come on down to rock bottom. See what it feels like.
Out of context is great.
Come on.
You never know. They could get desperate. I need that on a shirt.
Yeah.
I still need Maddie's introvert shirt.
Before
too.
we go to Japan, you need that on a shirt. You never
Ooh,
know.
ooh, I do need that on a shirt before I go to Japan. I need it in Japanese too.
Oh my God, that'd be great. Oh man, I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna have that made. Oh yeah, we're going to Japan. We'll touch on that later. In the middle of the coronavirus conversation, we're traveling
traveling-
far east.
Going down
But
the old Silk Road.
It's in the fall, so
It's in the fall. But
You know,
it's-
after all this
anytime.
blows over.
yeah, we're gonna
Not-
go down
not-
to Winchester, have a pint, and wait
not
for
has
it
a
to blow over.
because you know it's totally not possible that there's going to be a major resurgence once the temperature drops after summer or anything. Totally not going to happen.
Who the fuck knows, man?
But it is one of the things I've seen get posted by mostly keyboard warriors, but actually backed up by whatever they linked was an actual article posted by somebody who actually did research.
So I mean, it is a novel coronavirus, just like MRSA was, and just like SARS was.
Well,
and I mean,
using the flu as the precedent, which isn't a great comparison, but it works. I mean, they're very similar as far as how they work go. The flu does better in cold climate. During the summer, it dies out, and there aren't that many like cases of the flu. But when there's a bad flu season at the beginning of the year, there's usually a really bad resurgence at the end of the year. That's how it works. When it gets cold again, it comes back.
It's going to be insane to see how this changes our actual social systems going forward, because we don't shut down schools for the flu or anything like that. And this, it's a much higher survival rate, much lower mortality rate. Granted, it's a different group of people that's affected. I understand that, but if this is a thing that does resurge, how are we going to approach it in the future? Because we still don't have a vaccine for it. You have a flu vaccine that people highly advise.
Unfortunately, as
for.
far
This
as
is definitely getting people talking,
Yeah.
like talking about like sick leave and sick days,
Yeah.
like because in America it's not that great. There's no law that says you have to have this. It's really up to your employer to decide.
The U.S. has no regulation or infrastructure anywhere close to what would be required for a pandemic level infection.
But like even for like flu season, like the reason why flu spreads so easily is because like you're like expected, I need to work. I can only take off maybe 2 days, but the flu isn't really something that lasts 2 days. You're probably going to have the flu normally lasts like a week, and you're going to have a fever for most of that week.
All of the
and
roommates,
you need to not be at a place. You don't need to be around other people when you have the fever, because when you have the fever, you spread it.
Yeah.
So even I've been in and around talks about like sick leave and like how we should do it and improve for like even the flu. Like, more businesses need to be like, hey, if you have the flu, you're gonna be out for as long as you have. If you have a fever, don't come to work. And
there should be a system. I actually think there are some places for the coronavirus. There are some places where they're like, if you think you have it, tell us, we will go get you tested.
Yeah.
And that should just be a thing that happens. If you walk up to your place of employment, if you walk in there and go, I think I might have the flu, if those words leave your mouth,
like,
you're not coming into work.
Go home, go get checked out. And if you have the flu, don't come back until you don't have a fever.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like you're afraid, but like, well, I might lose my job. They might fire me if I'm gone and stuff like that.
No, you have the flu. You are not allowed to be in this place right now.
You have permission to leave. Like that should just be a thing that every business.
You are a time bomb at this point.
Yeah. Because like food industries and stuff like that, even when which is the worst place, even when they're sick, they're like, nope, got to be at work.
People talk about
handling.
People
you need to
talk
not
about
be at anywhere near another human being now.
People talk about the work to live ethic in like retail workers, where like if we're not working, we're not paying bills.
Mm-hmm.
People in the food industry have that exact same thing, but like 100 times more dedicated. They will come in with the flu, 103-degree fever, and do their job
because they gotta get money.
Because they gotta have money.
Yep.
And their jobs generally do not pay the money they need.
Yeah, I'm like I was saying, I'm very fortunate because, like I was saying earlier, we don't need to be concerned about like the school food thing, but also I work from home, and my employer, we've had conversations, company-wide conversations, meetings, and emails that go out, memos. Like we need to do everything that we can in our power to contain the spread of this or the potential spread of this virus. Thankfully, nobody within our company has been diagnosed. That is a great thing. But proactively, the company that I work for is deploying a lot of people to go work from home. And they've made the effort to say, okay, we're sending out laptops for you guys to go work from home, where you'll be able to do your job remotely. And by such and such date, we're effectively only going to have 25% of our workforce in the office. Everybody else will be flexible to work from home. And me, I work from home full time anyway, so this doesn't affect me. But I mean, that's a huge push for some place that is known for having its work culture be the way it is on site. Mm-hmm. So it's a massive push, but it's a very respectable thing. They send out emails like, we're canceling face-to-face meetings, canceling face-to-face trainings. You can, if it can't be done remotely, it doesn't need to be done at least for the next 6 to 8 weeks. We'll approach it later. And I mean, it's good. I'm thankful to work for a company that does that kind of thing where they make their kind of forward push for their employees. Retail's a different story. You don't really have that luxury, and it's food is the exact same way. People in the restaurant industry. I'm not sure what Cameron's deal is.
I think they're slowly starting to do. Because I think today he was talking about like how he was imaging a bunch of laptops. Because I think they're about to like slowly push.
Oh yeah, they're doing work from home push.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're in a role like that with your employer, where you're flexible enough to go work from home and they support, that's a great thing. And realistically, man, our social infrastructure, our economical infrastructure, there were a lot of things that were not prepared for the way this virus hit. You've seen, like I said, the stock markets have crashed. You've seen businesses just sell out of everything, not be able to support their employees in certain places. Now, the United States is weird, where we have a problem that we complain about at a federal level, but it's controlled at a state level. Specifically, when we're talking about employment compensation for sick leave and things like that, that's something that we want to see approached at a federal level. Mm-hmm. But that's something when statehood was drafted, they're like, yeah, these are the kind of laws you can make for yourself.
Which is stupid.
It is. Because I mean, now if you live in one state and work in another, then where does your line fall, et cetera, et cetera. So
unfortunately, when our country was founded, they weren't expecting the federal government to exist at all, and the way that it does, and B, they weren't expecting any of the world to be the way it is. So state laws originally worked perfectly, because we all were basically tiny countries inside of a big union.
I was about to say, the way it was originally drafted, it works really well when we all are very small communities. Mm-hmm. We are not very small communities.
Yeah, you just let George think he's in charge. He just sits over there and looks at his cherry trees, and
we are no longer small.
The federal protects us from foreign affairs, while the states regulate us.
Yep.
But then, if
you don't like it, move to another fucking state.
Yeah, that's all you had to do. But now we live in a very
connected,
not only connected, but a very populated country, where there's like millions of people in a state. Mm-hmm. There may have been 1 million people added in America at one time.
It's been 200 years of if you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna go tell mom. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what got us in the predicament that we are today. People complaining to their state government, the state government
ignoring them, and then
either ignoring them or not being able to acquiesce those requests, right? And which is an understandable. If you actually think about the way the world works, you can't have everything you want.
Totally, yeah.
So there are things that state governments had to say no to, and people get pissed off and then go complain to federal government.
And then the federal government's like, well,
okay, we'll step in this one time, and then if something else happens in another state, okay, we'll step in this one time.
And then a precedent gets created.
And then they're saying I can't have an abortion. All right, we'll step in this one time. They can do it. It's their choice. And then everybody else is like, no, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Things blow up because we don't know how to handle things with state government, and the federal government's kind of let that run at the rate that it has. So
I'm sure somewhere in this conversation, if there were more people a part of this conversation, somewhere in this conversation, somebody would try to make the comparison of Europe and the UN, which is a terrible comparison to the US. The US and the UN do not work the same way.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
It's a terrible comparison. It's just not worth it.
The U.S. works independent of any other nation on the face of the planet, and that is because we try to think of ourselves as a united nation, and we are not. We are very, very, very fractured, but we try to let people work in a unified faction or in a unified manner, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So,
got a bunch of states that are technically able to run themselves, but we're all underneath the one government.
Yep.
and everybody just gets in everybody's way.
It's a huge clusterfuck of bureaucratic red tape that should not exist because the foundation that everyone wants to stick to is archaic, outdated, and useless.
without getting political, I do want to say we now belong to a structure where our federal government openly talks shit about our state level government and how it's being mismanaged. And it's like, well, there goes any faith anybody would have.
Yep. So are we not supposed to trust our state government, or are we not supposed to trust the federal government? Like, what the fuck is going on?
If you have a problem with this, or if you want to voice your opinion, call your senator's office, call your governor's office. Well, this guy said he's a piece of shit. Why would I call him? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but this isn't let's get into U.S. politics episode.
Isn't it though?
I mean, we're talking about the coronavirus, which leads directly into politics.
Yeah,
so,
unfortunately, yep.
Because that's the unfortunate thing is, and the realistic thing, none of us are in a position to we can make personal adjustments, but we cannot do things to correct the situation that we are unfortunately
we
in.
are powerless.
So we can do things like make a point to your senator, make a point to your governor, make a point to your congressman or congresswoman about things that you think this state should do to follow suit in repairing the issue, or your state in particular, whatever it may be. But the fact of the matter is, people are still clamoring for a federal resolution to this issue, and we're not going to find one that way.
Yeah.
And the best thing that we can individually do is, like we've been instructed, social distancing. So it's good to see you. It's good to see you. But
how you doing, man? How you doing? You good? You all right?
Better than your grandma, Eric.
Got him! Fucking got him! Hell yeah! And on that note,
worst anime betrayals of all time.
And on that note, see you later, folks. I've been Josh, he's been Justin, and that's been Eric.
You can't cut it off before I apologize.
No, cut it off.
Et tu, Brute?
Hell yeah.
I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. Hi guys, I'm Justin from Roommates Gaming. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while I figure out what to do with my hands. You can also watch this video and this video.